weeks ago, you were addressing a crowd in Sacramento, California, at an event as part of this broader speaking series of events you were doing that was planned throughout the country. And during your remarks in Sacramento, one thing that struck me is that you were urging US politicians to take an America first approach rather than an Israel first approach. Hours later, Trump's agents arrested you at the airport. Tell us first, what was the message you were sharing with people during that event and some of the messages you were hoping to share with people on this tour?
The message that I was sharing on this particular tour, and indeed the consistent message has been, is that ordinary Americans, when they hear the truth and see the videos and see the images on social media and the like, the reality is their opinions are changing. And you're seeing it in the polls, both on the right and on the left. You're seeing it that the more they are seeing the truth of what's happening in Gaza and in Palestine and more broadly, their opinions are genuinely changing. The reaction is not one of, I don't want to see these images. It's, well, I never knew that this stuff was happening in Palestine and the like. And I was arguing that while the AIPAC lobby uses malicious tactics, such as trying to buy congressmen and buying up media and $50 billion on TikTok, the truth does have its own power, and people should rely on the goodness of those Americans in telling them that one of the reasons that many Americans are going bankrupt as a result of medical bills is because Congress prioritizes $14 billion in October 2023 to give to Israel to provide them free healthcare and rebuild their Iron Dome and enable them to commit genocide, while the American family is struggling for the rest of his life trying to pay for medical bills. That the veteran who comes back from service in the military, in the American military abroad, is freezing in Magnificent Mile in Chicago on the streets, and the government can find $8 billion to give to the Israelis in order to enable them to commit genocide, and prioritizes the Israeli over the freezing cold veteran. That when you go to Beverly Hills in California, and I'm driving alongside with my friend, and he says, and I say to him, what are all these tents doing here in these parking lots? Is this how many hippies you guys have? And he says, no, Sammy, those are homeless people that are living there right next to Beverly Hills. And Congress can find billions of dollars to give to Israel first and make the American last. My message was a simple one, that America is not an enemy here. Americans are not the enemy here. Americans rather are being hoodwinked by the Israelis who insist on Israel first, and we should be the ones who advocate to save America in this instant by insisting that America should be first in that regard. And I think that was a message so offensive to Laura Loomer and the Israeli lobby that they decided to detain me the following day for fear that Americans might actually hear it.